This week on Dumb Pitches, my guest is Pallavi Gunalan, and really well thought out ideas, I think. A cleaning supply that cleans everything, so you don't need multiple. That's good. And at her funeral, she would like to force everyone to adopt rescue dogs. It's a very fun episode. Here we go. Dumb Pitches.
What a bunch of dumb pitches. Oh my goodness.
Welcome to another episode of Dumb Pitches with Monica Nevi. I'm Monica Nevi, your host. This is the show where we talk to successful people about their worst ideas. I'm very excited for our guest this week. Pallavi Gunalan is with us.
Hello!
Yay,
I'm
there
so
you
excited
are.
to see you.
Yes, I'm excited to see you too. Thank you for doing it. Okay, so we like to start the show by giving people your good ideas, your credits, so that they know you haven't only had terrible ideas.
Yeah.
So you are a very funny stand-up comedian, but separate from that, you are honestly one of the better lists of things that people have thought of, and the diversity of project as well here. So you're a writer for Lovett or Leave It, which is on Crooked Media. You created and wrote a series called Imposter Bear. Another web comic, a depressed graph. So many different. Just even the titles here. It's good. The City Council is a podcast and a live show you've created. Dirty Science, facial recognition comedy. Just all these different things. You've been in commercials. You've been on Funny or Die. I mean, it's you're busy. You're doing a lot of stuff, and I love it.
You gotta come up with a lot of ideas because so many of them are bad. So that's how you get the
That's
you know
true.
what I mean?
When you have a good
Throw
list.
it all at the wall.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Well, that's good. So that was a good and that was only like half of it, but a good list of good ideas. That means you have like an even longer list of bad ideas. Maybe?
Yeah. You are the first quality control I've run into. So
you're like, I'm just over here thinking of stuff. This is great.
I just throw things out there,
I will say, if I'm quality control, we're not headed in the right direction because
oh no,
I end up being very supportive anyways, but we could try, or we could work together a little bit. Maybe we'll tweak them.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay. So when I sent you kind of the criteria, what bad ideas did you come up with?
Okay, hear me out.
That's always a good start on Shark Tank. If somebody was just like, all right, hear me out.
Okay.
Stay with me.
Stay with me. Bear with me. One cleaning supply for everything.
Okay.
I want, like, you know how they have, if men can have 3-in-1 body wash, shampoo, conditioner.
Okay.
I'm not saying that's a good idea, but I'm saying use whatever that is for my floors and my windows and my toilet. Why do I just want a tub of stuff and then I pour it everywhere and then I clean up. I don't want 12 different bottles underneath my kitchen sink. What I mean?
Yeah, this is pretty
I don't want to create mustard gas while I'm trying to do my chores.
That is true. Oh my gosh, I used to work at a place where we had to mop, and they were like, only supervisors can make the mop buckets because people would put too much, and then you'd like die in the
and then you
supply
pass
closet.
out.
Yeah.
Listen, I am a dumb person in many ways. And I need to just one liquid. I don't care what color it is. It could be like the grossest gray gunk. If it's cleaning the thing, just throw it out there and then, mop it up. And I don't want to have to, we shouldn't have nice things. You know what I mean? I don't want good granite countertop. I just want clean countertop and clean floor and clean windows,
I think you're onto something in that we really don't deserve the variety and like the different colors and stuff, and I know that we don't deserve that because we're stupid enough that people like have accidentally drank antifreeze or whatever because it looks pretty. Like we need something that's ugly, and this is cleaning supply.
Like all the people who want to lick lava, just one cleaning supply for them.
Wait,
which is me too.
Is that a thing? People want to lick
lava?
That's
the thing on Twitter. Everybody's like, that looks so delicious. When it's like just lava flowing off a volcano.
Oh God, weird.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you want to make it gross? That would be helpful for safety reasons. I mean, the only thing I would think we might run in, the only problem with this, is that to make it, if you clean everything, it would probably have to consist of some kind of harsh chemicals or something, like because a lot of people, I think, maybe the same people who want to lick lava, are into organic or, more natural cleaning supplies.
That shit doesn't clean anything. I was there during the pandemic. That shit was left on the shelves.
That
okay?
is true. Nobody was
buying that 7th generation bullshit. When shit hit the fan, everyone went with the harsh chemicals.
That is true. Oh man, that's funny. You're right. Okay, so then that would be the empty spot in the store, is this.
Yeah.
Just call it, what do you call it? Cleaner? That's it? You just call
I feel like those people are also the people who are like, I shower without soap. You know what I mean? Like those people.
I only shower once a month or something because my body's supposed to clean itself or whatever. And I'm like, well,
yeah, I use my natural oils. And those people, like, they'll find ways to make their home deodorant also fill their mop bucket. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, they're doing a different thing. The rest of us, we just need one thing.
I think it's a pretty good idea. You're right at the all-in-one thing, too, of like, for years I did use a shampoo conditioner combination, and I was 7 or whatever, so it wasn't like I knew what I was doing. But then as you got older, it wasn't as good, was the problem.
Yeah.
So if you could make it the quality and things mixed together. We had to explain to our son the other night why we didn't want him to use the body wash, shampoo, face wash, or whatever on his face. He has pretty sensitive skin. So we have another face wash for him. And he was like, but it says face. And I'm like, yeah, it doesn't mean, just because it says that doesn't mean it's good at it.
Yeah, we're teaching him, what fake news is and media literacy.
Yes.
That's what you're doing.
There you go. I love using big words. He's like, what? So that'll be good. Okay. I like it. I think if nothing else, it...
You zoned out fully for a second. Yeah. You were like, it's going to have a lot of lawsuits.
It would sell, for sure.
It would sell.
I think there's
people would buy it.
Yes, good marketing here. I think maybe as far as the execution, we don't know. But again...
Yeah, we don't know if it's actually going to clean anything.
We are not scientists. Okay, that's not our part. We're just...
I technically am, so I should
That
know
is
better.
True, actually. You are scientists. That is true. I don't know if you guys do that.
Come on.
Yes.
I'm
not a scientist. I'm here to just get excited about it. So
great.
But that's good. That's, I think you would save people money too, and people don't always love that. So I think you might run into problems with the other cleaning companies if we were to implement that now. So
yeah, this is like, what is that thing, Soylent or whatever, that people the thing that everybody was drinking, where it just if you get rid of the diversity, it just ends up being gray gunk that actually isn't great for you. But I'm like, let's try it with cleaning supplies.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I knew a guy that was drinking that. It was pretty gross.
It took over an entire dorm in my undergrad. It took over an entire dorm was drinking it and farting at the same time.
Yeah,
like it was so.
It also looked so gross. So I was like, why?
Yeah, and the guy who created it came and visited our school, and all of my friends fangirled over him. Really? And I'm like, there's a market for everything.
This is the Soylent guy.
Sorry, my dog is stretching his paw.
Oh, yeah. Wait, is it wrapped up
upside down right next to me? Hold on, I'm going to show you. He's like,
oh, there you go. Oh yeah, you got a little
in the cone. Sorry.
Oh.
Okay, well, that was a little fun. And does bring me to my next dumb idea.
Perfect. Is it about dogs?
Yes, it is about dogs. Okay, so I think at my funeral, everyone should be forced to adopt a rescue dog.
At your funeral.
Yeah, everyone, but they can't know because then they might not come. But it should be a surprise adoption event, and they have to go home with one and raise it forever and ever as my last wish.
Is that what? Okay, so you're like, this is what she wanted. Everyone needs to.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
It's
he's
easy.
Like, yes. He's raising his hand.
High paw. Yeah. It's easy raising a rescue dog, as you can see.
Save me.
He's still stretching.
It's just the little wrap that looks so or brace or whatever it is that looks so weird because it's
Yeah,
just
it
like,
looks really weird.
yeah. Okay,
But
so
yeah,
they have to, and they got to keep it.
yeah,
Okay, but you don't tell anybody until that, which is okay. And maybe this is stemmed from being stand-up comedians, but people do that. There's a lot of fundraisers,
yes,
shows where it's like, we're gonna do a stand-up, but also you can adopt a dog outside in the beginning of it, So it'd be like kind of like that. And then in your mind,
yeah.
where is this happening? Is it indoors, outdoors? How is it set up? Are the dogs right next to, like, say, your casket?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay.
First of all, I'm just as I'm one of those people. I'm like, excavate my body, take the organs, and
Right.
then make it into a tree or whatever.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really matter what's happening with me. What matters is what's happening with the dogs and the people. I want them to be overwhelmed and bombarded by these rescue dogs
Like, you
because
have
that
to.
is how I lived my life, and I want them to experience the chaos
As we can
that
see,
was
yeah.
my life, in my last celebration. And a lot of people are saying, like, oh, not everybody should own a dog. That's an irresponsible way of distributing dogs, because remember, everybody has to leave with one.
Mm-hmm.
But I say the people who I stayed close with, I would think are responsible enough to have a dog and are capable of keeping one. And I feel like I have enough friends in like STEM and tech and stuff that if my other friends can't afford it, I'm like, you give them some of your money for the dog. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like redistribute some of your wealth for my last wishes.
It's taking over a few things, not just rescuing dogs, but really kind of addressing some economy as well.
Yes.
Damn it. I keep having a question and then forgetting. I do think that my memory is going. Anyways, my birthday was like 2 weeks ago, and I'm like, now I can't remember anything.
That's fair. Dogs don't remember anything either.
There
you
you
can still
go.
have one.
This is what it was.
Moment.
Okay, about the people being equipped to take the dog.
Yes.
I think then that sets a challenge for you now
Yeah.
in your living life to associate and be close with people who are good people that would be able to take dogs. So really, you're taking part of this burden as well now by creating a community of people who would be there and be like, yeah, we can take a dog. And we'll do
And
a
I
good
think
job.
there is no more apt description than burden of that's how I want them. I want them to leave and be like, I gotta fucking take care of this dog. Fucking goddamn Pallavi. I want them to be disgruntled, and every time they look at the dog, they think of me.
They do.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's part of it. My vanity, my narcissism.
Beautiful way to live on too. I mean, I often think about, living on afterwards. How does that work? Some, idea with the tree, things like that, put a little piece of me somewhere so that I grow in it. But if people have the same
if every
burdened
time
feeling when they look at the dog.
if every time one of their nice shoes gets chewed, every time their carpet gets peed on, and they think of me, I'll have lived a wonderful life.
That's
know?
Well, and then, I mean, even so, even though they rescue the dog eventually may pass as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think you would just think of dogs that way now. It would remind you of the dog that you had, and so now just all dogs would probably remind them of you.
Exactly. It goes on.
That's good.
It goes on.
I mean, I think in the perpetual idea here, how it keeps going, I think you're onto something, definitely from your own perspective.
You know how like everybody's like, oh, that's like a Michael Vick dog in the negative way because Michael Vick fought dogs.
Yeah.
They'd be like, oh, that's a Pallavi dog. She like burdened you with that rescue.
Yeah, they rescued. Yeah. That's good. Well, okay. So yeah, then I mean, honestly, the only real issue here is one, how annoyed whoever's got to set all this up would probably be. And two, would people be good at taking care? Again, that's on you for associating with the right people. So
yeah. And also, I would put, I work with some rescues, and those people are
a little bit crazy. They're kind of like stand-ups, right? If they're going all in on dogs,
Right.
they got something wrong with them a little bit, just like we got something wrong with us.
They're
going
looking
all
for
in.
something, to kind of fill a void, whether it be a dog or an audience.
Right. So those people are gonna 1,000% be in charge of the funeral. Like they would be so happy to put together the funeral.
Yeah. Okay.
They'd be like, yeah, put the body wherever. Where are we gonna put the dogs?
That's
You know what I mean?
That's what we're here for. Yeah.
Let's put a little like frame where you can take a picture with your rescue. They'll just go gung ho on all of the crazy shit with dogs.
Yeah. That's good. I mean, all right. So you got to keep them around for sure then.
Yeah, you gotta. So you gotta invite them to the funeral.
Yeah. Do you only tell them beforehand? Like
100%.
Like
my family's not gonna know. Okay. My family's not gonna know at all. They're gonna be the most burdened. They're gonna be so upset with me. But yeah, you only tell the one crazy person who's in charge of it, and you're like, you have to make sure that they know this is my last wish, and they all have to leave. Otherwise, something illegal happens.
It's such good timing. Oh,
I know. Oh, he's about to sit on you. Okay, good. He sat down over here.
Sit on me. I was like, how? Okay. All right. I think, I actually kind of dread going to funerals. I don't, obviously it's a sad time anyways, but I think actually being there for me, I have trouble. I have a real I should probably talk to a therapist about my dealing with grief and loss. And so you kind of don't want to go to the funeral. But if I knew there was going to be dogs there.
Have you been to a celebration of life?
Yeah. I've been to all versions.
Was it okay?
It's okay. Yeah. I just think it's like, it's supposed to be sad. And I also I think I'm codependent in the way that I don't want anybody to be sad. If I can fix it, I want to do that. So then if it's a room full of people who are sad, I don't know what to do.
Oh man, you sucker. You're gonna take so many dogs.
I'm gonna end up with so many dogs from your funeral. Oh my gosh.
I like when they brand it as a celebration of life, because it's like, oh, we're gonna be crying, but there will be beer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you don't have to worry about what you're wearing.
I for sure want mostly beer. I don't think you need to have a space. Do it outside somewhere. Scatter the ashes, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. Do a chill thing. I actually don't drink, but I like snacks. I like when there's lots of snacks and sweets and stuff,
Yeah.
For the longest time, I was like, okay, at my funeral, puppies, Taco Bell, just like the things that made me make cake pops, maybe. Those are fun.
We should just do it. Sounds like your birthday, but
yeah. I should have it right before I die, actually.
You should. If something happens and you're like, this might be the end. Okay.
Yeah.
Get these dogs.
Celebration of almost death, basically.
Yeah, well, that is a thing to be like celebration of life. I kind of want to be there for it, Yeah. I did all the life living. I want to be rewarded.
Yeah, what have y'all done for me?
What did you do for my life? This is not.
Yeah.
I would end up with dogs from there too, though.
Yeah.
I'm sure somebody's done that.
Are you like the bridesmaid? What's her name?
I took 9.
Yeah, you took 9.
Melissa McCarthy in that movie. Yeah, Megan is her name in the movie. But yeah, that's so funny because we were talking about that the other day. I can't go to a pet store or a humane society or whatever, because then I'll just fall in love, and I can't have a dog right now. So
yeah,
we're not allowed to in our home that we rent.
Oh,
I know. Also, I don't think my wife would want to do it. She's like, you travel all the time. I'd have to take care of it,
Yeah,
She's
that's
not
fair.
into that. But yeah, anyways. So I would for sure end up with.
Well, you're definitely invited to my funeral.
You're like, this is really gonna be successful.
This is gonna be great, and I know you're gonna be one of those people that's like, it's what she would have wanted. I have a whole podcast episode about it.
I'd be like, she really did it. This is great.
Yeah,
this is beautiful. Okay, do you have one more? We have time, or we can keep talking about dogs.
I think those are my two good ones.
Perfect. Okay.
Two good
ideas. And they go well, which is so funny because the more the dogs keep coming in the frame, the more I'm like, oh, this is your frame of reference. You're like, I need to clean everything because of these dogs. And then if I pass, I would love for there to be dogs be rescued. So you have 2 in the house right now. One is yours and one is not. Is that what you were saying?
One's a foster, but he's so close to being mine. I gotta get this one healed up. I gotta buy a car. And then I'm probably gonna just keep that guy. I don't know.
That's what I always
This is my
feel like
problem.
about fostering dogs, is that I would just
Yeah.
keep them. In fact, we've said that about humans, because we had talked about adopting another child that would be ours, and the one, it's expensive, but
Yes.
two, we had talked about fostering a bit, and my wife Erin was just like, I would get too attached, like if we didn't end up being able to keep the child, then, which just seems so much more, but it would be amplified, I feel like, for dogs.
Well, I think there's another podcast called This Land. It's a Crooked Media podcast, and the first season is really good, and it talks about how like tribal land works in the US and how people are trying to take it and carve it up. And then the second season is about the Indian Child Welfare Act and how prior to the Indian Child Welfare Act of it's called ICWA of 1978 or something, maybe 71, people were just stealing these indigenous babies and then just basically selling them to white people who wanted to adopt, because there's more people trying to adopt than there are in the US children available for adoption.
Right.
And then they put this Welfare Act in, and then recently all of these white foster parents are trying to fight the law in order to keep the kids, because the law was to prioritize adoption to tribal members.
Yeah.
And they're saying it's like racist, even though tribes aren't races, they're nation. It's like a nation.
Right.
And the lawyers behind it are trying to do this so they can say that reservations and tribes should not exist, basically. And so that I initially was like, oh, I want to adopt. And now I'm like, maybe I'll foster for reunification and then just be like a stable person in a kid's life, And then if we get to keep in touch and send cards and be happy that they exist and are with their families again,
Absolutely. That's interesting. I mean, it's a complicated idea as gays, you kind of have to search the options, I suppose, would be.
See, it's a lot less complicated when someone just shoves a 3-legged dog in your hands at a funeral. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
The dogs and the cats, nobody's like, get them back to their parents. They're like, get them anywhere.
Get them anywhere out of here.
Out of here.
Got 3 legs. Go for it.
Yeah. So it's a little bit easier with them because,
they're not coming for them later. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Complicated. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, these were great. Thank you so much for being, and tell people where they could follow you or come and see you or check out all your other stuff.
I am at Pallavi Gunalan, PALLAVIGUNALAN, everywhere on social media. Actually, this Sunday, the 26th at 7:30 in San Diego at Mic Drop Comedy, I'm doing my half hour. My friend Ellery Smith is doing her half hour. We would love for you to come. We would love for you to be there. That's Mic Drop Comedy in the Gold Room in San Diego at 7:30 on February 26th. And you can just find all my other stuff online. And I'm happy to be here.
That was beautiful. Yes. Okay, good. We'll share all that. And I'll put it on our Instagrams and stuff for your doing a half hour. That's great. Yeah, perfect. Well, follow, and also, let's see, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can subscribe if you haven't already. If you're listening to us, rate, review, subscribe, all the stuff. I don't know, whatever. We also have YouTube memberships. If you want these episodes a day early, there's some behind-the-scenes stuff and some of my stand-up and whatnot. If you want to do that, it's very helpful.
We'll give you some behind-the-scenes paw action.
There you go. Ooh, that's just the toes. Ooh, it's like OnlyFans for dog feet. Anyways.
Oh no.
Oh God, no. That's another episode. All right. Well,
they're not gonna give me kids, are they?
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, right now you can just keep watching Dumb Pitches.
You're weird.
Yes.